Then you use Shiori. So this is your team 2. Okay, no, that's fine, that's fine. So your team 1 can be this. Your team 1 can be this. So you have your Kaori, and then you borrow Makoto, and then Kokoro, and then Hiyori. Yeah, this one should be doable. This one should do it. So this is the full auto of your team 1. Team 1, easy clap, right? Kokoro 3-star isn't tank swapping. Maybe with the enough. Yeah. So that's like team 1. You can replace Hiyori with like Arisa, right? Like either or, whichever ones. Team 2, assuming you don't have Makoto, then you would probably go with this. You borrow Makoto. If you don't have Jun, you can replace it with Miyako or Nozomi. It's gonna be a little scuffed, but you know, I think overall it should do better still. So this one, the one that gets boost, should still be Makoto. Hold up, let me see. Who's getting the boost? Was that, yeah, Makoto was the one getting the boost. So this is without Kaori, right? If you have all of the, if you have Makoto, then you would use the Kaori instead, or Makoto. But team 1 should be very standard, right? Like you know, you're not gonna change between. You should have Kaori, you should have Hiyori, you should have Kokoro, you should have Mitsuki. So you're just gonna borrow Makoto in that situation. If you don't have, ideally you would borrow Kaori on that team. But yeah, see, this one is 950 still. So and that's without, that's you borrowing Makoto, right? Because you had to use your Kaori on team 1. So the better one is definitely yeah, this one, okay, maybe not free to play friendly because of June, but then you can just replace June with another tank, right? You could use Miyako, you could use Nozomi. The damage would be a little bit weaker, but in general, right, it still should still be good. Okay, let's see. So the ideal comp is this, right? This is the ideal comp. This should deal like 1/1 mil easily, but since we didn't have that, we went with this one. Yeah. So that's for team 2. Now for team 3 varies very differently. If you don't have a magic team, then you're probably gonna be on the Orc Chief mode or something like that, and you're gonna be stuck with like a Miyako. Miyako is pretty good on this one. Let's see. You would also use, of course, you're gonna be borrowing Makoto, because if you don't have Makoto, actually, yeah, that is the only other. If you're not using magic team, right, then you would use Makoto. And then honestly, for team 3, you just start slapping in whatever physical you have, right? So we used already Kaori and Hiyori on team 1 and team 2. So now team 3 is like, alright, what do I use? You could use Eriko, Rei, Tamaki, there's also Arisa. If you have Arisa's good. And let's see, who else am I missing? Shinobu is also pretty good, especially actually no, Shinobu is pretty good on team 3. because you don't have another defense shred, right? You already used Mitsuki on team 1, so we have um Shinobu here, and you could use Mimi also. I think these are the standard comps, I would say, for the third team physical. So you're just gonna have to play around which ones work out the best combinations for you, because yeah, because you know each person has different kind of box. So I'm just telling you which ones you can use for the third team physical, and so you're gonna be stuck with that, and then you're gonna you know, use that. And who else is it? I'll probably use Mimi. A lot of people probably have Mimi and Eriko very invested, so you do that. That's your team 3. Your final team. So this is the magic comp. This is what has been suggested, right? This one. This is the magic comp. So for this one you can change Jida, either Jida, Tamaki, Kaori, Eriko, I mean Mitsuki. I mean honestly anyone that you could use still, right? Or you could borrow. You could choose to borrow. Alternatively, if you don't have, right, if you, let's say you only have Tamaki but you don't have Ilya, then borrow Ilya, someone's Ilya. That's 5-star. I'm pretty sure some of you guys probably have one of those guildmates that did 5-star Ilya, so you can try this one. Did you try the Ilya tank version? Yeah, we did try the Ilya tank version where Ilya's the tank and then we use like Misato. That one works too. But I feel like not many people probably have invested on Misato. So I would probably, yeah, I'll probably do this, something like this. And if you probably want, I mean, Kyoka, you can probably replace Kyoka honestly with another slap, with some other unit. But yeah, we tried that Tamaki with Ilya, and then Kyoka. This is probably like the optimal mage comp. Oops. That's probably the optimal mage comp. Yeah, lap 1 is kind of easy. You are kind of more free to use whatever. Team 1 and Team 2 should definitely be like one of your strongest ones, right? And then Team 3, that's when, you know, it depends on your box. If you have the mage team, ideally mage team, then you smack this boss with your mage team. But if you don't have your mage team, you might want to use your Team 3 for the other bosses. Keep in mind, for lap 1 though, just keep in mind, do try to see if you can do tankless too. So that's pretty much it. That's probably the best advice I could get, because sometimes like you don't need tank, right? We just see, sometimes you just don't need tank. Yeah. But also keep in mind, this is typically just on loop 1. So this is just lap 1. But the moment we go to phase 2, lap 2, that's when things start getting crucial, because you know Kaori cannot tank it. But however, when you have Kokoro, that's when you start being able to tank swap, things like that. So lap 1 you might approach it differently.